All right, so real talk. Do you get cravings as like a dude or I don't know, a masterpiece? No, but
You
seriously,
got to be
like
kidding me.
do you
Is that
get
how we're really kicking this off? All right. All right, folks. So the answer to the $1,000,000 strangely asked question,
people want to know?
the answer would be it depends. And I
Okay.
know everybody hates that answer, but the reason why I say that is that so many times my cravings specifically have to do with the way that I've been eating. And so I'll give you an example.
That's all of us though.
Okay, well, listen, you asked me, so I don't want to
All
answer
right.
for everybody else, but
Okay.
about 2 months ago, we had a stock of protein bars.
Hmm.
And just because I got into a routine of having one after lunch, and I did that about 3 days in a row, and then 3 days in a row continued on for the remainder of that month,
He blew through the protein bars,
I
guys.
blew through them. And it was because every single day, right after lunch, I kept getting a craving for it. So it was, self-induced.
Okay.
But the long answer is yes.
All right, now we know, people. I mean, I think it kind of makes us feel better because I'll be honest, I think I even look at you and I'm like, well, you don't get cravings. I put up a story yesterday on my Instagram poll where someone, mom, brought some animal crackers into our house for the kids. And, the not big secret about me is I love animal crackers. It's a crack for adults.
You got animal crackers. You got frosting in the closet. What else do we have here? I mean, we could go
And mint
through
chocolate chip
the
ice cream.
litany of things.
I know, but animal crackers definitely are one of those things for me. And when I saw it on the calendar, it was like, I mean, it really did take a lot to not actually have that. And to be honest with you guys, I've not had any animal crackers. Not that maybe you care. Maybe you do care. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it's like I just think it's really awesome to be honest about that. And all of this really led from a conversation actually on one of our coaching calls with our girl Jill. We totally got to give her credit for this because oftentimes when we talk about cravings, which can be hormonal, time of month, time of year, we can talk about the circadian rhythm. We can talk about the fact that when you don't sleep, you have cravings. When you eat poorly, you have cravings. When you have more sugar than you're used to, you're going to have cravings. There's a lot of different reasons that we have that, or it can just be a nutrient deficiency. If you're not getting what you need, your body is always going to find a way to get what it needs. But we have this like negative connotation with cravings where cravings are bad. And on this poll yesterday, I said, in our minds, we say, well, if I can't have the animal crackers, which I was craving at that moment, then I'm not allowed to have anything, which is false. Instead, I went and had healthy fat. I ate some nuts. And, it honestly did satisfy me. I felt pretty good about it. But this concept that got brought up by Jill was when we think about this whole concept, cravings, and we can't have it, we think that we're being deprived. Would you agree with that? We've had lots of clients.
Absolutely.
They're like, I feel so deprived by your list. I can't eat all of the things that I want to eat. And this client came to the table. Now, she called herself a late bloomer, a slow starter. She's really just getting started with her weight loss journey, which was her personal biggest goal here. The habits are coming in, but now the weight loss is finally really starting because she's building some consistency. But she's like, deprivation, we got it all wrong. So I was like, explain what you mean by that. And this, I think, blew Mike's mind when I shared it with him. And I really hope that I hope I convey it the right way so it sits the right way for you. But she said, we think deprivation is I'm depriving myself of having all the things I like animal crackers and ice cream and beer and wine. I'm depriving myself of all of those good things. She goes, that's wrong. Deprivation actually is the opposite. When we eat all of that stuff, we are depriving ourselves of feeling well. We're depriving ourselves of energy. We actually deprive ourselves of good sleep and confidence. And it really was such a big eye opener that I wanted to be able to come on and share with you guys and discuss it with Mike because deprivation, I mean, that truly is deprivation. Like we got it totally flip flopped upside down.
I mean, first of all, I think that was absolutely brilliant the way that Jill conveyed that message because it is 100% true. And I think that maybe there's a good many of you here who maybe worked through some of the hard stuff in the beginning of this journey for yourself, right? Let's be honest. it's not an easy journey. And anybody who says that getting in shape or losing body fat is easy absolutely has never tried to do it, because it's hard. It's hard work, because we're not just working through hormonal issues, we're working through gut issues, we're working through
Habits.
mindset issues, habits. So there's a plethora of things that we have to trot our way through to get to the other side. And to have that mindset of well, the real deprivation is I'm not on the other side yet. I mean, I think that is absolutely brilliant. And like I said, the way that she put it is brilliant. So I'm not even sure where else to like go with this other than,
well, I would say, what is your biggest aha? Like, as you're listening, I really want you to think for yourself right now. And we always say, put what you think in ink, write it down. What are you truly being deprived of right now in your life? If you're trying to catch up on deadlines and projects because your time management just simply is not there and you're staying up late at night, are you depriving yourself of a good night's sleep? If you just can't overcome the fact that you got to drink every time you get together with your friends and you wake up feeling terrible in the morning, are you depriving yourself of just having a clean body for more than like 3 days in a row? Perhaps for you, it really is like those treats. And every time you have that treat, it makes you feel really fatigued and tired. So are you depriving yourself of energy? You know, when we think about it, and I say this really is our core philosophy. Our bodies were designed to heal. They were designed to be healthy. We just let all this stuff in the world, whether it's chronic stress, poor sleep, terrible air and water, tap water, or all the stuff that's in our food. There's so many additives and just junk in there. But it's like we get all gunked up inside, which is why our hormones get all wacky and wonky and we get all crazy signals that get sent. If we didn't have all of that, you know, it's almost like a return to basics. Because if we can get back to what our body actually needs and our body can actually do what it needs to do, you go down the aisle, there's not just potato chips anymore. You have freaking like nacho salsa flavored potato chips. And then you got, I don't even know what other flavors, explosion jalapeno. But I mean, there's so many choices and options. And when we really step back and think about it logically, it's so unnecessary and it confuses us and it messes with us. And you put that stuff in your body, it messes with your signaling. Our bodies were designed to heal. So everything that we're doing in modern day society is actually depriving us of the way that we're supposed to feel.
well, a thought that I wanted to finish was that when you have worked your way to that point where, let's just say, you no longer have that craving for insert whatever indulgence it is, do you actually feel deprived from that point forward?
Hmm.
I mean, we hear it all the time. The comments like, I never thought I'd be able to go without sugar. I never thought I'd be able to sit there and not have the slice of pizza while everybody else around me has it, right? So a lot of people here have been through that. Like I said, worked through the hard stuff, got to the other side, and then all of a sudden you realize your craving for it disappears. And once that craving disappears, no longer do you feel deprived. And now you are working towards the thing that you had been depriving yourself of this entire time.
Well, in this moment, I want to shout out Ashley. She's somebody that we work with online, and her entire family went out and got a certain type of chicken, like breaded and fried. And she was like, I had grilled chicken. And she said, I realized I didn't need all that breaded fried stuff. And I felt better. And I wasn't bloated. And I had energy. They all felt miserable. She's like, and it was delicious. You know, I think back to the frosting comment you made in the beginning. Like, I used to eat icing out of the container of frosting, just in case you guys missed that story. We've told that, I don't know, half a dozen times. We'll keep on telling it. But it's like, I look at cupcakes now, and it's funny, our kids love to lick the frosting off the top. I literally want to vomit when I see that, because I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, I would rather just take a little piece of the inside, to be honest. I mean, honestly, none of it at all, because it just makes me personally feel horrible. But that frosting, literally no taste for it anymore. Animal crackers, I don't know. I was looking at them, but also too, I ask clients, you know, it's not how is this going to taste, it's how is this going to make me feel. And when I look at those animal crackers, I know they're going to taste great, but I know it's going to make me feel miserable for days on end. And so that really is where my thought process comes in. And when you come back to the core of Jill's concept of deprivation, that's it. I don't want to deprive myself of the awesome energy, focus, mental clarity, regular bowel movements, good night's sleep, like great relationship, connection. I don't want to be deprived of all of that now that I am on the other side. And of course, we have our slipbacks. Nobody's asking anybody to be perfect here, but really think for yourself, is there an area of your life that you feel deprived in right now? Maybe it's brain fog. I talked to someone yesterday. She was like, I have so much brain fog, like we are being deprived of a clear and focused mind.
I think that this all comes back to what it always comes back to, which is a shift in mindset and then a shift in behaviors. And when we do those two things, and granted, it's a chicken and egg scenario for many of us. We're wondering like, well, what do we have to do first? Is it the behaviors or is it the mindset? And the truth is, it's going to be different for everybody. I think some people need the immediate shift in mindset, and then that dictates their behavior. Some people are more apt to start working on the behavior, even though the mindset's not there. But once it's established, then all of a sudden the mindset just comes right along with it. So it's obvious that this is the reason why we're always trying to work on those things and not just boil everything down to, hey, just eat this, or this is what your day's meals should look like, or you need to be in the gym this many days a week and doing these types of workouts, because everything is encompassed in this conversation that we're having, right? All of it matters. But if we don't get our mindset and our behaviors set up properly, then you are going to continually feel deprived when you're trying to make that shift, but you're in this constant battle. So the only recommendation I can give is that if you're going to do this, do it. Like, go all in, 2 feet in, step over the line. I mean, it can't be pussyfooting around the line and saying, oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out. It's like, take the jump into the deep end. All right, do it. I mean, and once you do, whether you're going to start in the deep end with your mindset or you're going to start in the deep end with the behaviors, start with one of those. And eventually you will get to the place where you're not concerned about feeling deprived, because that's just a thing of the past. And that was based on old behaviors and old mindset, which we need to leave right back there.
That's so good. I literally thought you were describing us, because like I'm mindset and your behavior. So if you need a mindset shift, tune into some of my videos. If you need some behavior shifts, tune into some of Mike's videos, because honestly, guys, once Mike explains how your body works and what food does to your body, you can't unlearn it. You can still eat that pizza, but in the back of your head, you're like, oh my gosh, like carbs and fat. That's really all that it is. And Mike said we should never eat those two things in excess together. So in essence, a bagel and cream cheese or a couple slices of pizza probably is like some of the worst stuff we could do. If you want to make it a little bit better, you could add some egg on that cream cheese bagel. That'd be kind of strange. Or some chicken on that pizza. Like there are ways that when we plan for it, we can go ahead and have some of those things. We're not asking, again, you to be perfect. I've said that twice now, so I'm really trying to speak to somebody. But once you know that, I feel like it's hard to unknow it. And in fact, we do have a client. I'm going to shout her out to Robin. Wrote this morning. She writes, it's working. I mean, like, it just doesn't even get better than that. For her, it was the behavior. It was actually sending me pictures of her food. I got look at these lovely photos right here, greens and colors. Look at this. Her dessert, it's strawberries with Greek yogurt on top. I just got that while we were here on this call. And I'm like, great job, Robin. I mean, that's amazing. So for her, we are working through some mindset stuff, but really she just made the behavior shift. She's like, I just have to eat better because she has so much on her plate, just like all of us do in different capacities. But I think you really have to make a decision about which change you really need to go after for yourself, whether it is making those mindset shifts, right? We got you there. Whether it's the behavior shifts where you have to just change. That's it. Line in the sand. I love that.
Yeah, well, listen, I think it gets summed up really well when we do have those opportunities to connect with somebody before they come into the program. And, you have those people, right, who are like, listen, just tell me what to do. I know I can do it, right? They have the mindset. They're like, I just have no idea what to do. I think of Sharon, who just came into the program, and Sharon's killing it, right? I think you posted about her earlier today, 10 pounds down in 3 weeks. And she was one of those people that sat across from me during our Zoom orientation. It was saying, listen, I just don't know. I have no education around this. I don't know what to do, but I'm willing to do whatever you say. And then you have the people who are like, yeah, like I like the healthy foods. I like to eat this way, but still too much of the mindset keeps them away from going all in on the things that they are capable and willing to do.
That's so good. It's so good. So our final question, I guess we could sum this up. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to drop them for us. But really, when it comes to deprivation, what is true deprivation? Do you want to be deprived of a little taste for a moment? Or do you want to be deprived from energy and clear mind thinking and happiness the next day? I mean, confidence really does come from the inside out. And when we are putting things into our mouth, like sugar and processed things that slow down our ability to think clearly and behave the way we want to behave. I mean, that literally impedes your ability to enjoy your life and feel good. Where are the changes that you need to start making? What are the changes you need to start making? And where can those changes be? And maybe for you, it's like, okay, if I know I have to do that now, how do I get the help and support I need? And obviously, you have a team of people here at Pure that are ready and willing to just jump in and hold your hand and help you cross over that line and hold you accountable to that, however you need it. But our biggest encouragement is make the change because it is so worth it. And you realize that the deprivation you once thought is not anything near where you can get to, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was being deprived of this life all that time. I mean, I think about that all the time, and I'm so grateful to Mike. He didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm so grateful to Mike for really showing me a better way. I'm so grateful to Pure Physique for changing the way forever that I did workouts. I mean, 12 years ago, guys, I was struggling with everything that you're struggling with right now or struggled with before, because a lot of you have made amazing transformations. And it's just an incredible experience to realize how much better you can feel in your body and in your life. And for me personally, I don't ever want to go back to how I felt before. And I know the same is true for many of you. So
I think that sums it up. Well, listen, everybody, as always, you got questions, please definitely drop them to us. Drop them to your trainers as well. We love collecting all of those and being able to answer that for you guys. And so with that said, we will catch you guys later.
have a great night.